Okay, ready.
Okay. So on the console, you're happy, you understand what's going on there. It's relatively easy. You need to make any changes and stuff on there. Okay,
That
or if you
was the
want to add a new one.
basics. No, just so I can add the projects, but at the admin there, I would like to just show me quick one more the admin function.
Okay.
That would be great.
Okay. So basically, if you then log into the Connect dashboard, then basically you will be getting this. I'm currently logged in as an administrator on the dashboard. That is now that password and stuff that you created when you set it up, and that's also the one that I've sent through to you. Okay, that will take you in as administrator. Okay, so basically you will be getting the dashboard. If you see the little icons on the left hand side, you've got your dashboard, you've got some metrics and reports. You've got your different routing options for phone numbers and flows, etc. And then you've got your user management. So it's relatively straightforward. And then the other thing I want to show you is on the right-hand side. Right-hand side top, you'll see there's an option for your login and log out options, as well as you can change your language. So if you drop that down, you can change your language to
Yay! That's what I wanted.
Okay. I don't understand anything about this, so I'm going to change back to English.
No problem at all. But this is important. Is that for the agents too, or is it only for me? Because for me, I don't bother. I can do
everybody that is going to run. Everybody that is going to use or log on to the Connect dashboard is going to be able to change the language.
Okay, so
if the agents log on to the dashboard as well, then they will also.
Yeah, good. Some of them might log onto the dashboard, but for me, it is important now when the calls come through and when they have to set up their thing, because luckily you guys everything is based on browser. That is the advantage which you guys have at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And then right next to that, there's a little telephone, and that is basically your telephone control panel. Okay, that's where you will be setting. Okay, let's just allow that quickly. So that's basically where the agents will now go and make them available, set themselves available when they've logged in. They can change their status. This is also where they're going to receive the call. Or if they got outside access, then they will be dialing the numbers here as well. Okay, so this is basically the part that the agent is going to use most of the time.
Okay, that's the most important part actually for me. Is it VoIP? Do I need another extra phone, or is it already a phone built-in?
Well, I've basically connected with this with my normal headphone connected to the PC. So
I don't need I don't need a Zoiper. I don't need a SIP phone or anything.
No. You can actually use your headphones. If you go to your setting, you can see there's an option for a soft phone or a desk phone. So I'm currently set on a soft phone, and then it works through my headset.
Okay.
Okay. If I've got the desk phone, then of course you will need a separate phone and so on that you need to use.
Yeah, but then I need to connect it to landlines, and that will be costing additional. So.
That's where it will start costing and so on.
Exactly. Okay. No, that's what I don't want.
Yeah. So currently you can use the headsets, you can as a soft phone, and yeah, then it should work. As I said, I've done it on mine. I tested it with the number, and it worked like a charm.
And I saw beautiful that I could choose. Can you go one more step that thing and then just show me the languages which are available on the setting?
So if you go that little gear at the bottom, you've got the option for language. Click on the language, and you can change the language that you want.
Okay.
I can change it to Dutch. And
yeah, I don't know if you will find it then still. Okay.
Okay. And I don't know what it says, but I know I need to click there to get it back again.
Okay, that's all I needed. Good. No,
years ago, I had a client that was French, and he had his PC was a French version of Windows. And so he had to sit next to me because every single message that came up was in French and I didn't understand a word of it.
Shame. Quick question. Can you just show me
Yes.
which languages are available so that I can just drop down menu, because that's the most
Okay.
important part.
Languages, we've got Dutch, English, Spanish, French,
Okay.
and
And some
Japanese
Chinese and
goes.
Japanese, Japanese and
Yeah,
Chinese and
Japanese and all that.
Korean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay, so these are the languages. Okay. So that's basically the agent, or what the agent will use most of the time. I'm just going to close that. So let's get back to reality. Okay, so when you set up a new one, you need to claim a phone number. So I've already claimed one. If you need to change it, then you'll see there's an option that says view phone numbers. Okay. I'll go in there into the phone number detail a little bit later. So I'm just going to show you on the dashboard. So basically, you've got the phone numbers. You can also set your hours operations, your different queues, prompts. And then, of course, at the bottom, you've got all your different contact flows and routing profiles and your users. Okay. So I'm not going to run everything from a dashboard. Otherwise, we're going to lose some of the steps. Okay. In fact, let's hide it. I don't even know. Oh, okay. If you hide that, then you get a little little graphy thing in there. So that's the dashboard. Now, I'm just going to skip metrics for now. If you go down to where it says routing, now this is where we can set our phone numbers.
So the dashboard, what you see here right now, that will be the dashboard the agencies.
That will basically be the dashboard that the agencies or however you configure it.
Okay, and that's just an important part for me, so that I see basic queues. And if I put that into, if I set up 5 different queues for him, then he should see 5 basic queue lines.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Then you've got your, okay, so going back to the phone numbers, that's basically your part. So currently I've got this one phone number, which is now linked to this. This is a phone number in
England. Yeah, I see.
UK.
Yeah.
So if you want another phone number, then you basically just click on claim a number at the top. And then it will ask you which country do you want. So let's say if we take Germany, that's where I've sent you that little message, because you need to send them a business registration document and so on.
But can you put on DID? Because that's cheaper all the time.
Yeah.
Then you might not need to.
No, you still need it.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
Okay. They just, for some reason, they just want to know that you just got a valid business in the country. So I don't know why.
Yeah, good. We have 5 different businesses in the country, so that we can open up quickly.
Yeah.
For me, it's just important right now that I get a second number to test it with the guys tonight or tomorrow latest.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you can just click on that little where it says click and create a support case. It will then take you through the whole process, and you have to upload the documents on there, and then they will pick it up on that side.
Perfect.
Okay. And then, of course, you just select the numbers that you want. Let's take that first one. Let's see if it won't allow me to actually save it. So let's just go down to, I know for a fact that you don't need it in UK. So you just select a number there. You can give it a description. And then you can actually link it to a specific contact flow as well. So you can have multiple different contact flows for every number. You can have a different contact flow if you want to. Okay. And then after you've done that, you just click save, and that's it.
So I could have a contact flow. Let's just put the description line 2.
Okay, so let's say line 2. And let's make a contact flow
of Q customer.
Yeah, let's just take that one, and we click on save.
So then I have 2 now in my profile.
Yeah. So and now you've got 2 numbers sitting in your profile.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to delete it, you just click on that, and then just click on the release button, and it removes that number. Okay. You can't get that same number back again, so
it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. So that's basically the phone number. then if we're still there, we can go down to contact flows. So these are basically all the different contact flows that are currently set up. So if let's just open up existing one. Let's open up the default customer queue.
Mm-hmm.
And then that basically just says start that, and then it goes into a prompt. It's actually a bad example.
Sorry.
Let's just go back again. How do I get this back again? Let's take something a little bit more. That was a default customer queue. Let's take something like queue priority. Let's see if that's got a little bit more on it. Okay, so let's basically get the start. You've got the customer input, so you've got two different keys that you can press. If you want to change something on this, then you basically just click on that little image there, that little at the top. You just click on it, and you've got the different options. So for each one, it will have its own option. If you look at the actual prompt, you can either just type in the text, and it will then do a text-to-speech, or you can actually.
But if I have it in German, how good is the text-to-speech?
Or you can upload it as a audio file.
Audio file, that will be better because we have them all available. So
yeah, I don't know if this thing will actually talk German, so we'll have to see. And then of course you can integrate it with Amazon Lex. So that's a little bit more advanced, but basically the Amazon Lex allows you to come up with a prompt, or the user will say, instead of pressing buttons 1, 2, 3, and 4, they will say, for instance, something like, I want the sales department, and then Amazon Lex will then translate that into different options, and then pick up the word sales department, and from there it will then route it to the correct number. That's basically what Amazon Lex does.
Yeah, so okay. Just as an interesting thing, I saw quite a nice presentation in Vegas about this crowd that had used Lex to like the bots and stuff from the insurance industry, because they basically then process claims and stuff, and they basically said like 60% of their calls were saying the same thing. So basically people would phone and say, am I covered for this? This is my policy number and stuff. So then Lex could basically handle a lot of those calls and free the amount and stuff. And then if it ever got to the stage where Lex couldn't understand twice, it would automatically break out to an agent and stuff like that. So obviously their workflow got a bit more involved, and you can also
but don't forget about it still for the English market and not for the
that's kind of where more Lex fits in. And as you say, I don't know how good Lex is with the German side, but it's something we can play around with if you want to look at that and stuff. But just to compare the basic apples with apples.
At the moment, seriously, just to be honest, I'm comparing basics with so let's say I'm comparing a VW Polo with a Lamborghinis at the moment. and now I'm trying to put you in there, so you don't have the Polo actually available. I can see. And so you are, so I would call it a Lexus at the moment. Let's say it like that.
Yes.
Yeah? So that's where I put you guys in. Cool. But you have the option to become a Lamborghini. Or even whatever is above Lamborghini, So make it you guys are the first floating car or something like that, but and that is where I believe when I test you guys whilst we active and not take you on as our first provider, then I think it might be much better to play around with you guys than because at the moment there is way too much to choose from. And I can't keep it simple at the moment.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it, and I'm happy to see what is already available. I just need to see what we can do now going forward, because I want to make this work and I want to make it bigger. And if I go bigger, I won't be able to drive with my Polo into the outdoor terrains or go on the highway too long. So my Polo will collapse in the meantime. And also, don't forget about the starting price of what you guys offering at the moment is about let's say if I call it per hour, then it's about 10 to 15 cents per hour already. Yeah. So, but this is now very interesting for me because I'm seeing now what options I have, which I didn't have before.
Cool.
So, thank you.
Okay, so this is a basic flow, and as you can see, it's well, I'm not just going to go through every single option. But basically, I think you know more about the different types of flows and that you've got. And then off to the left-hand side, you've got your different options. So you can play a prompt, or you can get customer input, or whatever the case may be, or you can put it into a specific queue. You can check your staffing available at that moment, etc. So I mean, you can basically just go through this. To add something on there is basically just drag it on, and you will have the different options. And if you want to connect it to one of the flow blocks, I'm just going to remove that one. Then you basically just you see this little round thingy there, and you just oh gosh, did it again. You just drag it across onto your new block. And then again, as I said, you can just click on that little plus or whatever there is, and you will get your different options that you can work with. Okay, so that's basically the flow. The prompts is basically is your actual audio prompts or audio files that you will be uploading. These are all uploaded onto the S3 bucket. But from here, you can go and create a new one. You can upload it. You can go and edit it and play the prompt itself, whatever you want to do there. Okay. Then you've got your queues. So currently there is only one queue, but basically you can just go and add a new one. You can give it a name, a description. You can tell it which hours this queue will be operational. Currently I've only got the basic hours. The outbound caller ID name. That is, if you've got different numbers, that is the number that it will display to the caller when you're dialing outside.
Yeah, to the receiver.
Yeah.
Okay, so my question right now here is, this is for outbound calls only. That's it, right?
This queue is your actual inbound and outbound queue.
Okay, because I have two numbers at the moment, so I should have two queues.
Yeah, so if you've got two numbers, then you can either take both those numbers into the same queue, or you can have different queues. It all depends on how you want to set it up. Okay. Then where are we now? Hours operation, that's straightforward, simple. It's just basically when this will be available.
No, sure.
Nothing.
And I need one. I can add one. So that's not a thing. Quick question: whilst we demonstrating, could you set up another queue for me right now with a second number we have?
Okay, so let's just go do that. Add a new queue.
That's a test number. That's a line 2. We can call it line 2 because that's what we had.
Okay, out operation, we just got to put in there. Okay, that will be a caller ID name. No, which one is it now? Probably the bottom one. Because the top one, I think it looks like a British thing.
They're both
and
British.
Then Okay, and then, okay, you can also set the number of contacts you want in a queue itself. That's an optional setting. So if you only want 10 people in that queue, then you set 10 there, and
okay. No, don't need that.
Yeah. Okay. And then that's it. You can give it a name if you want to. That's what it will show on the going out. And you just add it. And then you do different queues. If you want to change it, you just click on it and you will be able to go and make changes to it.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
Can you check the dashboard quick? I just wanted to see how it looks on the dashboard. Is there anything already there or not? No, it's not.
The one queue. I don't think it's going to show the other one yet. There's my service labels.
Okay. Because that's what I need then later. That okay. Where
currently,
are you?
Currently, it's not being used. So okay. Then, okay. Then we get to the users, user management. So relatively self-explanatory. Managing of the users. So we can go and add a new user on. Create a new user or upload. Give it a name. Let's give it my name there. Give it a surname. Login name, whatever he's going to use to log in with. So he's got an email address. Password. Now, you can go and select a routing profile for it. I'm just going to use a basic profile. And you can also select a security profile. So I am a agent. And then what type of phone he's got. So currently I've got a soft phone. And that auto accept calls. In other words, if it rings, it will automatically accept, or he must go and click accept. That's basically what it does. I haven't got any.
Click accept.
Excuse me?
Click accept. Sorry, my voice is somehow.
Oh, okay.
I'm losing my voice in between.
Okay.
Cool.
So, what am I missing here?
It didn't match.
No, it was too short.
Oh, okay.
You click on save, and that's basically it. There's my new user.
Where will I see it now? Can I add you straight to projects or to queues? I mean,
so if I now go to my users, it should show up there. Okay, so there's my two users. Okay. Then I've got my routing profiles. So basically, if you look at the basic routing profile, you can see that it's linked to only the one queue. I can actually go and link it to the other queue as well, if I want to. So that's basically just where the calls are being routed to. And then my default.
Let's do it now so that I can see what the impact is.
Okay. So basically, I've got. It will first go to the one queue. If that queue is full, it will go to the other one. And then also I can specify the default outbound queue. So in this case, I say that my outbound is that one, but this one is also now outbound and inbound, but it's only going to use it as an inbound.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's put this as priority 2. So it will always use that one first and then this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Save.
Let's save it. And then we've got an agent status, which should basically just show us who is available and who's not. Or the actual status of who is available. So currently I've got available offline. You can also add new statuses and basically give it your own
non-productive times and these kind of things, yeah.
Whatever the case may be, and it's basically going to be a custom, and you just save that in. Okay. Security profiles. That's just basically to set what can admin do and what can agent do, etc., etc. Okay, so that's relatively straightforward. and then your agent hierarchy. So basically, we can say here, okay, so I've got, let's call it a top management. And underneath that, I've got my manager.
Do you see now why I say you are going more to the floating cars? Yeah, this is a level what I don't expect from.
These are all built in. You don't even have to use if you don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically you can set up a hierarchy for your different agents if you want to. And if you save it, then you can actually go and say, now who is sitting at the top? Come on. Let's say admin is sitting at the top. And who else? Let's go down. Okay, that's my agent group. And then at top management, let's put myself there as well. Okay, and this way you can set up different groups and different levels. And then if you go back to your user, see if I got this right. If you go back to my different user, I can actually see my hierarchy here, and I can say, okay, I'm linked to that, and sorry, that, and now where is this now? It should show the manager that did something wrong there. Okay, that's basically how the hierarchy works.
You haven't added managers, so that's why you can't choose one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
as soon as you add the manager names, then you could choose.
Yeah. Okay, so that's basically it. And yeah, if we do make a call, let's see if this will work. So if it worked the other day. Let's see. Plus 27. Let's take 44113 467 9277. Oh gosh. Please redial carefully or consult 11346799277. No, it does not like. I haven't tried it on your account yet, so 2038704550. Okay, I've got no idea why it doesn't work.
Are you doing the same as last time? You're dialing a British number?
Yes.
I'm calling you now on the other number, and I'm in a queue. Yeah, so in case we don't have any agents on the second number, but if we would have, it should ring over there now. Oh, you're offline, that's fine.
It's ringing.
Yeah, you see my number.
I'm accepting my call. Hi there, you should be hearing me now.
I hear you double now in my left ear and in my right ear, yeah, okay.
So you're hearing it in stereo.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Great, and then I can just end the call there. And then, of course, you can do something afterwards and just set available.
Okay, cool.
Okay. That's why it didn't work, because...
you were offline.
We're offline.
No. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Or maybe I dialed incorrectly.
No, wouldn't know.
Let's see. Strange. Anyways, it worked from your side.
Okay. At least, yeah, but I had to do the IVR, so that was quite awkward.
Let's just check this again. Well, now it's ringing.
Thanks for calling. These are some examples of what the Amazon Connect virtual contact.
Now it's working for some reason.
Okay.
Okay. So that's basically it. And
you hang up. I want to see what happens if there are more than one person in the line. I'm also busy calling you now.
Okay, so well, let's just dial this number again.
Just go to the dashboard quick, Heinrich. Can you see the stuff real time?
Now it is just ringing.
No, it's not ringing on my side. I might have forgotten one number.
I think the queues and so on is just not set up 100% correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got an AHT of 18 and an AVL of 1.
I've just got one available, and that's probably where the problem is.
Yep.
Okay. So if you set it up properly, you know, without dummy stuff, then probably it will work. Okay. Now I've just went into the S3 bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically you can see, now of course I don't know which one is which. Oh, that's the new one. There it is. Okay, so it creates a bucket with your data in it, and then if all goes well, we should see the call recording.
20 buckets below, okay.
Okay. So there's your recording. Okay, it shows a different date. Basically what happens, you've got to when you dial that number, there's an option to enable the call logging.
Mm-hmm.
And when you enable it, you actually get a file like this. It creates, for every call, it creates a file.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I say what type of file I want? Because Wave is not happily
as far as I know, it only creates a WAV file.
Ooh, okay. But everybody loves Wave, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, as far as I know, it only creates a WAV file. And when you enable the call logging, if you dial the phone number, one of the options there is to set the call logging, and in there you can specify if it needs to be only log the client side or the caller side, or if it needs to log the agent side, or if it logs both.
Okay.
Okay, and part of that is also being set up on your workflow.
Yes, that's what I needed. So.
When you do your contact flow, you actually can actually specify it there as well.
Yeah, and that's very important for us.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay. And then basically what happens from, if we take this a step further, and if it was now English and, you know, all those kind of things, then basically you can use something like Amazon Transcribe, and then basically that you configure to
my quality, that's really
and then go and pick up this WAV file. So every time that file is created in that bucket, it will automatically go and say to Amazon Transcribe, go and transcribe that file. It goes and creates a text file, and then from there on you can go and do whatever you want to.
As soon as you have it in German, I would definitely push to just go with this program, because I wouldn't need any more.
Yeah. So I don't know how long that's still going to take before and if they're ever going to do a German transcribe. But
they will need to put it offered for all languages. So, but we will see on that one. And until then.
So that's basically what happens in the bucket. And as you could see, for every call center that I created, it created a new bucket. So you can apply your security and whatever you need to on that specific bucket so that they don't overlap or whatever you want to do with it.
Okay. Question now. What is so, and that goes to you, Gareth. Can you send me the different pricing now for? Is Amazon Connect just one block where we pay a monthly fee for, or is it now per second or per minute, or that is very important for us to know at the end?
Yeah, that pricing was all on the spreadsheet I sent
Yes,
you. It's basically,
okay.
there's a per day cost, which effectively works out to a per month cost of something stupid like, I think $0.13 per day. So it works out like $3 or $4 a month. And then the inbound call cost for the direct number is 0.022 cents, so 2.2 cents per minute. And then the outbound call is a bit higher. So you can basically, if you work it on, like, say, I think at 120,000 inbound calls of 2 minutes a call, I think it worked out to like $4,500 or $5,500 a month or whatever.
If we are lucky, we're starting with 30,000 calls next week per month. I mean, that's for the starting, not too bad.
Yeah. So those things should all be in the spreadsheet I sent you, Mike. Both my first one and the one I sent you. So if that's what I said, if for the one that I filled out for your finance department isn't quite right or doesn't make sense, just ask them to give me a shout or let me know what's not making sense. But the basic thing is it should be 2.2 US cents a minute for the inbound stuff.
Okay. So now I see some statistics which I'm really interested in.
Yeah, so that's basically under your reporting, your metrics and quality. You can.
Oh, look at that missed call agent.
Yes.
That's probably when you guys were phoning in and couldn't find the queue.
Yep.
Okay, so that sort of thing is invaluable.
So this basically shows the number of calls, number online, etc., etc. So
you abandoned the call. Okay.
No, there's not abandoned. It was handled and queued. That's right aligned.
On the right-hand side, one is abandoned. Or what is abandoned? Oh, it's the number. Oh, the numbers are okay.
Yeah, it's
for example, for the second line, the call which I did for the second line is not even recorded.
This call is available.
Yeah. And I called in on the second line.
Yeah, didn't pick up.
Yeah.
Or the metrics. Yeah, it should be there.
Yay. Okay. So
but it could be that queue is not set properly and so on, and that's why.
Yeah.
Because there's a missed call there on my queue.
Yes, but on the first
one. Give you enough to play with, Mike.
And it gives me quite a bit to play with, and I just need later on the outcome of the thing. So meaning I need to see per agent how long he has been on which call, and that I need to extract into an Excel sheet or somewhere else where I can give him the money for what he has done. Or if you guys offer money like how to say that I can do a payment program with it. So meaning, for example, for the one customer, the guys are getting per 10 seconds 12 euro cents as an example. Yeah. And for the other customers, they're getting 20 cents per 10 seconds. So do you have something like that in the background running that it can calculate already, or?
I don't know what the agent costing model is. We'd need to actually look into that for specifically around that costing. I'm sure it can give you the breakdown of how long they were online and stuff.
Okay.
And absolute worst case scenario, we could probably find a way to, in the workflow or something, have that somehow record or push through or save somewhere and stuff. I mean, yeah.
Okay. And that is my first one. The second one is, can I just kick you out, quick, Heinrich?
Yeah, sure.
For the sharing. I would need something like, where are you now? Come.
Just stop the sharing quickly.
Okay. So I just need to go into what I wanted to show and ask if you guys can deliver me something like that. Okay, so where are you now? There, share, and there we go. Would you be able to provide me something like that for my customer? That he can just go in and have this API available.
So what exactly is this showing? So this is showing in 5-minute groups what is Wartent?
This is the actual hour on the top.
Yeah.
What you see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
meaning we have no waiting agents in our line for us.
Okay.
The bottom one is a more interesting one, meaning in the hour 10 to 11, which was the last the 2 hours ago in Germany. We had an availability of 100%, and that availability came because we had 5 calls coming in. 2 of them hang up in 10 seconds. So meaning we have 3 calls accepted, and that gave us 100% availability. Waiting time of each customer, and here we see above 10% we lost no calls, and above 20 seconds, between 10 and 20 seconds, we didn't lose any calls. So just to give us an indicator, and above 20 seconds we also didn't lose any calls. And the waiting time for the customer was 9.3 seconds, the average waiting time, and the average handling time was 87 seconds.
Okay.
And here you see here we lost 2 calls above 20 seconds, meaning, but the average waiting time was still 8.8 seconds, meaning we must have had a peak in between where the customer has waited more than 20 seconds, and that's when these 2 customers were hanging up.
Okay, so, and this is in our slots, yes. So that's between 7 and 8 this morning. So that's in our slots that you had.
See, this is our, this is a, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This is just an example, so yeah.
If you can maybe, let me just have a look. I'm sure there must be some form of things. Otherwise, we might need to be able to get that sort of information from the data directly, Mike. Let me.
Yeah, no, I just need to send the customer at the end a link where he can just log in himself and do a refresh whenever he wants to and see what happens in the last hours. So we have this for the last 100 days.
Okay. Look, worst case scenario, we might just need to develop it as a custom thing on top of Connect. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how rich Connect stuff is other than what we've shown you there. But assuming that the metrics are available, then it would just be a case of reformatting. If we can't get easy access to the metrics, we actually need to track the data ourselves through the workflow when the call saves, then obviously it gets a bit more involved. But I would imagine it's there.
Or we might just have to enable, to transfer the data to Kinesis streams, and then from there on we can.
There we go. That's the purpose.
And we can then from there on pick it up with
anything.
What's it?
Number of things.
Yeah,
the important stuff is that you can see that we can see our development in specific shows. These are all TV shows. What you see right now. And then we can say, okay, in this show, you had an average of 243 average handling time. So that's why the waiting time was so long, as an example. You see every time where the average handling time is high, the waiting time increases.
So you literally are running with the optimum number of operators for a call under 2 minutes, basically.
Yes.
So as you say, as soon as it gets over 120 seconds is when you start noticing a slightly longer lag period.
Yes, exactly.
And then it's up to the client if they want to pay for more agents or not, basically.
No, I just want to optimize my agent. That is what I'm. For the client, he just pays for every call we receive. So, and that's why I want to make sure if I have my availability here on this side above 90%, that's all I want.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can see I'm quite good at it. So I'm having 100%, and my average is at the moment 98 or 99% availability, and that is something which no other agency has done before. So call center.
Okay.
Yeah. Average handling time. Availability for call centers is usually 92 to 95%.
Sure.
In Europe. And you see, we just lagged a little bit at night times. Here in 88, because they were coming in way above forecast. We expected here 15 calls, and we still picked up 31 calls. So that's why the availability was only 87%, 88%. Yeah,
okay.
the same over here. So that is something which is very to make it clean. That's the important part.
Okay. No, cool. As Heinrich said, if we enable the Kinesis, there's numerous ways that you can then get the data from Kinesis and show it in some form of a report. I mean, you can either just save it in S3 and then just have this thing as a little dashboard, or you can use something like QuickSights or something like that, which can create little visuals and stuff like that. So
yeah, as I said, just that you have an idea what I need you guys to do for me, because I won't be able to do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Then, and that's the customization. That's what I'm happy to pay for, because that is what what the guys are paying for to use. So they're the customers.
Yeah. So the only obvious thing is that bear in mind that something like Kinesis or QuickSight might have an additional monthly cost. Like I think QuickSight costs something like $15 a user. So if you want to, maybe for yourself and 2 or 3 of your clients, it might add $45 to the cost. But if you're doing 30,000 calls and your monthly bill is 3,000, that extra $30 kind of gets amortized in. Or
completely agree. Yeah. So I don't care. I don't care where the $10-15 a month. I care about that. I can give my customer what he wants. At the end, he's paying for it. Yeah. It will be a on top charge for him, and I don't really bother at the end.
Okay, that's cool. I'm just trying to be as transparent as possible, because I know that you're comparing all the stuff and that, Mike.
Exactly. No, and I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what I need from you guys, that you tell me where I can get better or what I need to pay for. So I want to make sure that I'm having then the apples and the apples, as we talked about it at the beginning.
Yeah.
Cool.
100%. Okay, cool. So then do you want to play around with it? And if you get stuck or anything, just drop me and Heinrich a mail and stuff, and I'm sure we can